This is the final video that will be uploaded to Instagram.
Align your portfolio with budget goals by investing in these 5 sectors, says Rajkumar Singhal. The Union Budget 2024 has been met with mixed reactions.
There you go. So we have built an entire application or a set of applications which scrape the internet for latest news and converting that information into short form videos and uploading it to Instagram. Hello super users, welcome to another brand new video. So in this video, we are going to scrape latest news from Google News and then create short form videos and upload it to Instagram. So let's look at the system design and let's get started. And by the way, this video took around 3 days to record. So we have put in a lot of effort and time. So do stay tuned until the end of the video. We'll go through system design. We'll go through building the application using AI. We'll be using Claude 3.5. We'll be using ChatGPT and a combination of Docker. So it's going to be an exciting video. Stay tuned for that. Hello, super users. So in this video, we're going to see how to use Claude 3.5 Sonnet AI and use Python and to build a web scraping tool which will scrape latest news and upload them to Instagram as a reel. So it's a complex multi-layered application. So for AI or this coding assistant like Claude to work efficiently. So for the AI to effectively help us to split the entire application into different layers or different applications. So it will help the AI assist us better. So let me show you the application layer. So on the screen, I have a simple architecture diagram that I had created. So we have two applications here. We have a Python application, which is a web scraper, which will look into the Google News for a given number of intervals. And the web scraper will not only scrap the data from the Google News, it will store it into a JSON file, which will have timestamp. It will have a GUID or a unique ID, so that we don't have duplication of the news, so that the news is not duplicated. So once it is persisted into the JSON file, the web scraper Python application scraps the data from the Google News periodically, and it stores them in a JSON file which has timestamp, has a GUID or a UUID, which is a unique ID, so that the news is not duplicated. After the data is stored locally, the web scraper also creates a image of ratios 9:16, which is vertical format for perfect for Instagram Reels, and we convert this into a photo. Web scraper application will pick up a photo from the Pexels using the API, and it will pick a photo with an appropriate background based on the keywords from the news article. And then on top of this background, we can add the title of the news and a quick summary from the news article in the bottom. So once this image is created, it will store it in the local drive. And then the second application, the Instagram uploader, which I have already built using Claude 3.5 yesterday. By giving multiple prompts, working with Claude 3.5 AI, I was able to build this application. I will show this application in detail in another video. So do subscribe and stay tuned for that. So we're going to implement this using Docker. So each of these applications can run independently as a Docker container, and we'll have a persistent storage in the local disks. So as you know, Docker containers are like virtual machines which run in independent environments. They have their own dependencies. So basically, they are different virtual environments running independently. Whenever you want to connect your local disk to this particular Docker container, you can use PVC or a persistence volume claim, and you can attach it to the local disk. So by default, it is not enabled. We can enable it, and I can show you how to do that. So in this application, we are going to store the final photos in the persistent storage or a common storage, and the same common storage is linked to the second Docker container or the second application, which is the Instagram uploader. So this app will take the photos, and for the given intervals, it will take the photos and it will convert the photos into Instagram Reels, and it will upload it to the Instagram for the given user ID and password. And it also attaches appropriate background music that we give. So this application is already built, and this is the application we're going to build with the help of Claude 3.5 together. And since I did this already by myself, I really wanted to show how AI can make it easier for us to code, and we have an idea. These are the action items for each of these two applications. So scrap the web data from Google News. This is already happening. I will quickly show you the prompts that I've used to create the application so far, and we can resume our journey together. Yeah. So if you look at the screen, you can see that this is the prompt that I've given. Create a single file Python application that scrapes latest news from Google News. It should check for new unique news and so on and so forth. You can pause the video and take a look at the prompt, and I'll also leave the prompt in the description. So it has created the Python file as well as the Docker file as I intended it to create. And this is the folder structure. We have the Python application here. I had specifically asked it to create single file so that it is easy to debug, and when we want to iterate and ask it to generate or refine the code, it is easier to feed it to the AI. So that's a point worth noting. And so currently you can see that the files are being scraped and stored with title, summary, timestamp, and GUID. But however, the summary is pointing to a URL, but we want the summary to be in paragraphs which are humanly readable. So I have given it the prompt telling it the summary values URL which is not readable, and I've also told I want you to get the title, read the entire news and summarize it, and then provide us with the summarized text. And I had also given it an appearance of how it has to look. So let's see if the updated code works. So let me copy the updated code and we'll give this a try together. And I had also added the requirements in the requirements.txt as suggested, and if you can see, these are the requirements and few of them are missing. Let me add those requirements. I see an OpenAI dependency that is added. I'm not sure whether it requires a OpenAI API key. Yeah, it does ask for OpenAI key. I guess it is using ChatGPT to summarize the results for us. However, I currently don't have a paid version to use the API. So since a lot of you might not initially have this, let us take an alternate approach to use an AI tool that might help us summarize the text which is scrapped from the web. So I told that I don't have a API key with OpenAI and asked it for an alternate approach. It's told that it can internally build a summarization technique, which is pretty cool, that we are building our own summarization technique. Let's see how it works. So we have new dependencies which are added. If it is not yet present, I can add it. So they have added newspaper 3K and yeah, so let me try running the script again, and I have also set my API key for the Pexels API, and quickly I would like to show you the images that were generated before I started recording. And you can see this was the output earlier. The text is not properly aligned and the description is a URL, so that has to be rectified now once I run it. So let's give that a try. So I have run the program and I don't see any output yet. And yeah, we see an error. It says image draw has no attribute text size. So I'm just going to give this error back to the AI. Actually, we have expired on the context limit because each chat with an AI will have a context window or a context limit. And since we have asked it several questions and the context limit has exceeded, however, we can start a new chat and we can provide a query. I'm going to paste my existing source code, attach it here, and I'm going to say that I encountered this error, and it should be able to find out the error and give us a solution. This is a very simple error, but still we can ask it so that it simplifies our work. So it diagnosed the error, it found the error, the reason for the error, and it quickly generated the code which has to be updated. So we just have to upgrade, we also have to upgrade the version, and again we can use this. I've updated the code and rerunning it. Let's see. Yeah, it is saving these images quickly, as you see. But yeah, the title seems to appear fine. However, the background is just a black background and there's no description, there's no summary. But at least the title is shown pretty accurately. So that's fine. So we're going to tell the AI what had happened and we're going to ask it to rectify it. So let's do that. And by the way, we are out of messages for another few hours. So until then, we can't do that. But lucky that I have created another account, and we can definitely do that as a workaround. And if you plan on doing this on bigger projects at a continuous stretch, it is better to get the subscription for the API. It can be also integrated with your Aider AI coding companion. So I have made a video on how to integrate Aider coding companion with programming with an AI tool like Gemini Pro or Llama. I have made a video, you can check that out. I have linked it in the description. Again, Aider is very powerful because you just have to give it a prompt and then it'll automatically create those coding files, it'll create those scripts files, and it'll even automatically run the script file. And when it encounters an error, it'll automatically find those lines, debug it itself, and then resolve it. It is very powerful, so do check out the video and it'll be really helpful. So I have pasted the current code and have told it what are the updates it has to do, and it is generating now. It says the script is currently not fetching any images from stock footage from Pexels API, so it is updating the code. For some reason, the logic was deleted by the AI during the iterations, so it's rectifying it. I have also set the Pexels API key in the environment variables. You would not have to do that, provided that you pass it as a environment variables when you run the Docker file. We will also see how to do that. So I've copied the latest code and pasted it. Let's try running it. Right out of the bat, there's a error. Yeah, so it's not the entire file. It's just showing the updated snippets. So let's just copy that. Yeah. So Pexels API key. It is actually coming from an environment variable, so which we will update. I could ask it to retrieve it from the environment variable. I could ask it to write the code to do that, but I don't want to run out of the context window here, so I'm going to write the code by myself here. So at the beginning of the main method, we can retrieve the value of the API key. So this is how you retrieve the environment variable using the OS library. Let's ensure it's imported. Yeah, it is imported. So we have this Pexels API just defined here. We can move it in the global level as it was earlier. So this method download stock image is what uses our API key. So I have copy pasted the rest of the file. Let's try running it. Looks like it does take some time. Yeah, so these are the newly created files. Let's try opening any of them. The importance of Ubuntu. Yeah, so we still are seeing black background image, which is not right. So I have told that we are again facing the issue that the background image is black, and it is analyzing the problem and generating a new updated code, and we'll see whether that resolves the problem or not. I ran the program after deleting the JSON files and the photos, and it's running again. Let's see what is the output that we see. Yes, it does take some time, but once it gets going, it rapidly downloads all the news articles and then dumps them. There we go. Yeah, I still don't see the background image for some reason, even though I had added the API, and the summary is still empty. The summary text is empty. So we will provide the result to the AI and we'll ask it to fix it. So I have let it know the error, and it is correcting the implementation and the code. It actually missed out to add an import to the newspaper, and it regenerated the code, and hopefully it tells us the packages. Yeah, it does say, let's ask us to add the import now. Sometimes generating using AI to generate code looks like a hit or miss, but given the right iterations and the right prompts and having the right idea in mind or the system design in mind, it will help us steer in the right direction. So I hope it works, and all the effort that you're putting into this application and the video, I hope it's useful for you and it's really good content. Then hit a like and subscribe, and I'm really excited to show you guys how it works in a containerized or a Dockerized environment, and let us see that in action. So I'm going to run the install the requirements file just in case it is not installed, and I'm going to also upgrade the newspaper package just like it is recommending me to do. So I'll do Python, I'll do pip install -r requirements. So this will install all the requirements that we had asked it to install from this file. And we are inside a virtual Python environment, and all the dependencies are installed within this environment alone. And if you want to know how to set up a virtual environment for Python, I have a video for that. You can check that video. It is in the description. It is essential to have it installed within a new virtual environment so that the dependencies of this application is not interfering with the dependencies of any other application. So I highly recommend that. So since we have installed the dependencies, I'm going to upgrade the newspaper package, and it is done. Let's try running it now. It says unable to extract article content. It's trying to extract the article content for each of these entries, but it is not able to do so. Let's see where they've written this. Yeah, right here it says unable to extract article content. If article.txt is not available, then it says this error. So looks like this does not have any value. So this is the error that I'm going to show to the AI, and let AI resolve this error for us. So now it says summary is Google News, which is totally wrong. It is a source, not a summary. Hi, super users. So I'm back, and after hours of decoding, debugging, and also help of ChatGPT, I was able to get the background image appear correctly, but still the summarize feature is not as expected. And by the way, I had integrated the Gemini Pro AI using the API to summarize the content from the news article. But still it says, please provide me with the article text. So I'm still working on this. Once I have a fix, I'll be back. Hi, super users. So I almost gave up, but I tried the old-fashioned way of fixing the errors, of course, using Stack Overflow and debugging. So I was able to extract the summary and short description of the news from the Google's News API using Beautiful Soup in Python, and then I'm able to extract the summary for the news. So now we have the title and the description. There are still a lot of fine-tuning that needs to be done. The background images sometimes matches and sometimes doesn't, so it's a hit or miss. So that we have to correct it. And then the description looks and the description is not very readable. So we will try and feeding this to the Google Gemini API, and we'll ask it to refine it and make it more readable. Or if there's a out of the box way of reading it from the RSS feed, we will try to do that. And there are a few other refinements that can be done. First is multi-threading and asynchronous way of updating the JSON, so that we don't have to wait to read the JSON while it's still being created or being written. And we will also ensure that the Docker container is running continuously, and every 30 minutes it checks for a news update, and if there is any new news update, it can go ahead and create a new post, a new image with the content. Also, we can ensure that the naming format of each photo is not just the title, but has a timestamp, so it's easy for us to manage. So we will take out the refinements, but there are a lot of other things that has to be done, like text to speech, which gives a voiceover to the video, to the reel, so that it feels much more realistic and people can listen to the news as well as read through the text, which is more convenient. So that is what we're going to try and achieve. I will resume the video once I make some progress. Hi, I'm back. It's almost 3 a.m., but I would like to show you the changes that I've made and the results. So right now we can see that the bullet points are coming as expected, and it's much more readable. However, the line spacing for both the title and the summary has to increase, as well as the bullet point can have some more spacing, so we can do that. And backgrounds are matching in quite a way. You can see that few of the backgrounds match the title and the description, because right now I'm searching the image from the stock footage based on the title and the description keywords, so it's much more easier to find a better match. However, it says it's talking about a game which is hockey, and it's displaying a soccer background. That's fine, but we have to make it better if it's possible. And yeah, so using AI and Python and data science in tandem, it is very powerful, and you can see that we can definitely build. If you put a little bit of effort and if you're persistent, you can definitely build something with the help of AI. And so if there is any such idea that you would like to build using AI and Python, let me know in the comment section. I would really like to hear about it, and I will resume the video when I make the next progress. Hi guys, I'm back, and I want to update on the recent updates. So right now the image looks like this. The title and the summary. Google's Gemini AI has summarized it for us, and I've given it a appropriate background image, as well as the background, black background with the white text, so it's more legible and easy to read. And right now the images are stored in this particular folder. So this Python script scrapes the Google News for data every 30 minutes, and once it gets the data, it stores it in the format of JSON, the unique UUID or JUID, so that we don't duplicate the news. And after it's done doing that, it also picks up, it downloads an appropriate background image based on the keywords, and it adds the news title and the summary. And this is the duty of this application. So once this is done, our other application right here, which is Newsgram Uploader, whenever it sees a new file that is uploaded to this particular path, it will pick it up, it will convert it into a reel video, and add it an appropriate background music, and then upload it to Instagram. The reason I'm converting an image to a video is because Instagram promotes or shows more reels than photos, so that is the reason we're doing it. So let me dockerize this application. So just to show you guys, let me run the application. So Newsgram bot is the bot which is uploading the reels which are created from the photos to Instagram. So I'm already running it as a Docker container. So if you see, it has uploaded few photos, few reels. Let me rerun the application Newsgram. So it will check for new news, it will scrape it, and it will store it as a image. Yeah, so it is fetching the latest news from Google News, and it will also update this news data.json file. And once that is done, it will also create the photos here. So as you can see, images are getting generated, and as soon as the images are getting generated, it is getting uploaded here. It says attempting to upload the reel. And initially, yeah, we also tried logging in. It said too many login requests. So after a delay, we were able to successfully log in, and it was able to upload a reel. So let me go to the Instagram page and we can check it out. So this is the new Instagram page that I had created. Yeah, I have refreshed the page, and you can see new video that is added right now. It's a real video. You can even play it. Yeah, so we have a background music folder, so you can give multiple background music here, and it will be randomly picked up if you give multiple background music for each reel. For now, I've just given it with one music file, and this is basically file that I had used, the folder that I used earlier to upload the photos here. But right now I'm pointing to the other application directly, which I'll be showing you right now. As you can see now, this is the Docker run command, and here I'm pointing my mount path of this folder to my other project, news post. So which is this folder from this project. So this is under Newsgram AI and news post. So I'm pointing it to that folder, which is mounted into this particular path inside the Docker container, so which is /app/image upload. So this is where our program will be looking for changes. So whenever an image is uploaded to this folder, our script will detect it and it will automatically convert it to a short video with background music and upload it to Instagram. And I've made the background music and as well as the posted files as a PVC, as a volume, so that I can anytime modify it, and so that whenever the container is getting deleted or restarted, we don't lose the data. So these things are very important. And then we have our Instagram username and Instagram password. I had just given it as X, since I'm showing it in the screen, and so this will have the real values. And usually you can also pass the API keys if you prefer this command. So running this command will delete the entire container and which will bring it up. First command is it will remove any container naming Newsgram bot, and after that it will build an entirely new image, and then it will run the container and start the container. So what happens during this build image? You can go to the Docker file, and the Docker file you have version base image of Python that you're using, and then it installs and updates the dependencies and installs the specific libraries that you need for your application, and then it starts the application by saying Python and the name of the script file. This container is already created. I'll show you again. I'll delete the container and we can start the container again. So each of these images are getting uploaded one by one. As you can see, I think it says too many requests, so we might have to throttle it. You see, so many reels have been uploaded in the past few seconds that I've been talking, so we'll have to see a way that we can throttle it so that people are not flooded by too many requests. So this is evidently really working. So the next update is going to be about, instead of having a background image, we're going to have a background video, and we're going to have a voiceover. We're going to make the AI convert text to speech so that it has a natural voiceover. So that is the next. We're going to see that in the next video. I believe this video is already too long. If this information is really helpful, I really appreciate that you can hit the subscribe button. And if you can see here, it fetched for the news from Google News, and then it stored the data in the JSON, and then it created all the images here, and then it is scheduled to run for the. So after 30 minutes, it will again scrape for the data, and it will upload the photos here in the folder. As soon as we get the folder here, so as soon as the image is created here, it is automatically uploaded by our other application. I would also like to show you how to create a new container, run the Docker build for this app, because I've already containerized the other app. So Newsgram bot is already containerized. So let's containerize this app, Newsgram AI, which is the bot that scrapes the news from the Google News. So I've already created a build.sh file which builds the Docker file, and then which runs the API. And in the Docker file, we are installing the dependencies and the requirements, and then we also install the schedule package, and then we run the program. So to run it, let us give it executable permissions, chmod +x build.sh, and now we are good to run the file. So the container is created. Let's look at the logs. We can give docker logs -follow to look at the logs as it is being updated. And we have an error. We have an error that says cannot open resource. I will fix it. We'll take a look. So the AI had asked me to download the fonts and keep it under this folder, which I did, and I'll be building the app again. And also in the build file, I had added 2 more commands to remove the container. It's already running. It will remove forcefully, and then it will remove the image related to the container. So it deleted the existing container and it untagged the image, and it deleted the image, and it is building a new image now. And once it's done, it will start the Docker container. So the Docker ps command ran, and this is a new Docker that's created. Let's look at the logs now. There are no errors now, and it's scraping the data. And let's look at the other container. So new scraper is what is scraping the data, and the new scram bot is what is pushing the data as reels to the Instagram. So I'm sure that a lot of posts are being generated by now. Wow, it's a lot of posts. So in the last few minutes, 13 posts has happened, and I'm just going to keep it running. Of course, in the moment my system goes into sleep mode, turns off, the Docker containers are not going to be running. Of course, the point of creating it as a Docker container is it is highly scalable. You can even use Kubernetes and scale it, and you can deploy it on different servers like DigitalOcean, and you don't have to run it on your local system. So the purpose of this video, as I mentioned earlier, is to see how powerful an AI coding assistant can help us build an idea into a product or into an end product. So stay tuned for the next video, and we've come to the end of the video. If you really like it, do subscribe, and do let me know in the comments what are the other projects that you would like to try using the AI and using coding assistants. Hello, SuperUzers. So it is the next day morning, and I have made quite a bit of progress progress. So this is the final video that will be uploaded to Instagram.
Align your portfolio with budget goals by investing in these 5 sectors, says Rajkumar Singhal, Money Control. The Union Budget 2024 has been met with mixed reactions.
There you go. So we have built an entire application or a set of applications which scrape the internet for latest news and converting that information into short form videos and uploading it to Instagram. So this is the comprehensive video. I hope it was really helpful. Wait. Before you leave, I encourage you to check out superuzer.com, which has so many materials and ebooks and guides on DevOps, Python, Linux, and so on, which are incredibly useful for hundreds and thousands of users. Until next time, ciao.